Topic.
Uh-huh.
Welcome to the Prospectors Radio Show, the talk show for our community. Please welcome Rich Cooley, Indiana Gold Hunter Dennis Dayton, Kathleen Biffle, and your host, Tim Grimes.
And Scott Swiftwater Tony and Jaron Wheeler. What's going on, guys?
Not much. How we doing?
It's Sunday, and Scott has a special guest tonight.
Cool.
They're all special, baby.
They are all special, but this one's one of Scott's guests. Who's your guest tonight, Scott?
His name's Tim Fisher. I will let him, when he comes on, he'll probably go through and introduce himself. I think maybe his son's going to be with him. I'm positive. I'm thinking that's what he said.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm going to let him go from there and tell him, what he's into, what he's doing, where he's going,
Who he is and what he does.
Yeah. He can explain who he is better than I can.
What state does he live in?
Yeah, what state is he in, Scott?
I want to say North Carolina, but don't quote me on that.
North Carolina. So
Yeah.
we'll say the Carolinas, right?
Right.
That way we cover a big.
But if I'm wrong, he'll tell you.
Yeah, right. He'll probably be like, I live in Georgia.
Right.
I'm not in the Carolinas.
But no, what he has been doing though is he's been digging up a big bucket line dredge that's been left like in the middle of the woods, and it's buried. I mean, he's actually re-digging it out, and
in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, it looks like it's in the middle of the woods. But he did a little Facebook video the other day, and he showed timbers that were bigger than his boot. I mean, they're massive timbers
On the bucket line dredge?
Yeah, it's all made of wood.
Wow.
It's not metal, it's a wood one.
All right. I just want to know the spiel of how it got there.
That's what I was wondering too. But
Right.
when he comes on, he'll tell us all that stuff.
Oh yeah, I hope so. How'd you find? Yeah, I got a lot of questions. Okay.
And I think he even sells, if I remember right, I think he sells actual pay dirt that's in the dredge.
Ah.
But like I said, I'll let him explain. All
right, that's interesting. Yeah.
How about you guys though? Are you freezing?
Yes.
Yeah, I still can't believe that.
Got heaters on, furnace on. It's like, what the heck's happening?
That's crazy. You guys already got the heaters going.
It's not even October yet.
My air conditioner's still running.
No. I wish mine was.
Today has been the hottest day for the last 5 probably.
It's cold. It's just cold here. Right now, I'll tell you the current temperature right now is a balmy 55 degrees.
How balmy?
With rain.
Yeah, it's supposed to get down to 54 tonight.
Yeah, they said 52 here, Rich. It's like, okay, furnace will be kicking on for sure.
Well, at least it ain't 32, guys.
Not yet. It's the it's gonna be in the 40s at night this week. That's cold.
Yeah.
That's just 10 shy of 30. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not cool.
You'll still get frost at 40.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just crazy.
I smoked 15 pounds of venison deer sticks today.
15 pounds.
Yep.
How long will that last you, Rich?
Oh, I'll vacuum pack it and I'll end up giving most of it away anyway.
I'll send you my address.
15 pounds really ain't that much if you think about it. But
no. Well,
probably about
that's about 140.
About 40 sticks, probably.
Oh, 40. I would think more.
About 40 sticks, about 10 inches long.
Okay. So that's what you're doing, making venison sticks out of it.
Yep.
Yeah. Beef steaks, venison steaks.
The old deer in the roll.
Yeah, there's probably at least 35 to 40, maybe, guessing.
Yeah, one of them would be good right now. With some spray cheese and some crackers.
Spray cheese. You nasty. Oh my goodness.
I Yuck, dude. It's amazing.
That is, I gotta say, right next to a Hostess Snowball has got to be most processed food I know to man.
Sprayed cheese ain't
sprayed cheese.
Sprayed cheese is real. 100% cheese.
That sprayed cheese ain't nowhere close to being real.
Oh yeah, they just melt it down and shove it in that can. And
totally.
there's some aerosol in there.
Yeah,
okay. I love that cheese.
See, Rich loves it too.
I love that canned cheese. I got it canned in the fridge right now.
Oh, you keep yours in the fridge, Rich?
Yeah, I keep it in the fridge.
Do you? See,
yeah,
I don't.
I always do.
I don't. I keep mine.
I remember back in the day, my mom used to eat that. She used to tell me, "You can't have this as mine." I'm like, I tasted it once. I'm like, you ain't got no chance of me taking it.
Well, see, it probably wasn't as good back then. If you tasted it now, you'd be hooked like we are. It's like crack.
Hey, you take the Ritz crackers and spread it on it. Throw a piece of bologna on it.
Oh, see, Rich does his on Ritz. I do mine on the chicken biscuits.
Well, that
chicken and biscuits is good, yeah.
Every single day when I get home from work, canned cheese, chicken biscuits.
Every day.
Every single day.
Wow. Put some sliced turkey on it.
No, I don't put no lunch meat on it at all. Just the cheese. It's amazing, Scott. You gotta have it.
It's amazing.
If cheese was steak, it would be the filet mignon.
I don't think so, buddy.
Oh, I'm telling you. Oh, sprayed cheese is the best cheese.
That stuff's nasty. The only thing is good is the color is gold.
And it's got to be the cheddar too, not the American. Even though the American ain't bad, but the cheddar's the best. Get you something.
That's what I was going to say. It reminds me of gold.
Right? If gold had a taste, it would taste like sprayed cheese. Let's remember that, Scott. So get you some sprayed cheese. I think
I've seen quite a few posts on Facebook this morning that I've seen that quite a few people's been out prospecting and doing pretty good when they find their nothing really great to speak of, but I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people get the activity and do.
Yeah. Well, also
loose boxing and stuff like that.
Well, I seen that some of these guys got their cool little 3D printed desktop high bankers.
Right.
How you liking it, Jaron? It's pretty cool, huh?
At first, I was struggling with it. I tried to make some modifications, and it helped. But then I changed back to listened to what Darth was telling me. And the latest results are pretty darn good.
Nice. It's cool though, right? Because it's small. It's pretty neat. Rich has got to fire up.
Does it keep a lot of the black sand still, or?
Well, that's the first time I ran it, I was running just pretty much just 99% black sands through it, and it wasn't very efficient that way. And I'm still trying to learn how to get the pitch, and because I've never used a drop riffle, so this is the first time.
Right.
So it's a little bit of a learning curve.
Gotcha.
But I'm definitely getting it down, and I'm pretty impressed after this latest run.
Drop riffle. Is that kind of like in the Gold Cube, the G4 separator?
Like a Angus McKirk.
Angus McKirk.
Drop riffle.
Think of a flat plane, and then the riffles drop straight down and then come back up.
Yeah,
so
that's
like an underflow type thing.
That's the same as in the Gold Cube.
Drop riffle.
Not exactly, but
drop
well,
riffle.
I mean, it's got to go down and under the water and come back up, and that's what helps clean the stuff out in the Gold Cube. But if that's a drop riffle, it's the same effect as what I'm getting.
Yeah.
It's not a riffle in the Gold Cube. It's the G-force. They got a thing in there that the water has to go down and under and come back up. And it's hard to force gold back out of that riffle.
Yeah, if you take just that section and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it on a flat plane, that's what it is.
Okay, that's what I was getting at. I've seen, I don't know, somebody had a prototype 4 or 5 years ago. It was nice, it was clear, and they were showing how it works, but I don't think they ever made it. But didn't these guys here, whoever's making the one that you're talking about?
That's the one Darth made.
That
they won in the raffle.
Does he got any videos on that?
Well, the guys posted some pictures on the main page and stuff. So
I didn't know maybe Darth made a video on it and to show
I don't think so.
Made, ran, and all.
I've posted, I think, like 4 videos so far as I test and go through the learning experience.
All right. Are you putting them on YouTube or what?
They're just on GPS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So check it out. It's cool.
I was gonna say I can find those then.
Yeah, it's easy to find and it's cool. You need to check it out. It's pretty awesome. So you know what else is awesome, Scott? Those gold prices.
No, they ain't.
they're not awesome. Well,
Hang on,
let's hear 'em.
I got to get back to them. Here we go. Well, girls and boys, let me just tell you, it's looking a little weary on us. Again, gold is not where I want it to be, but it also took a $26 drop down
Oh,
to $1,645.
okay.
I don't like that price, but that's what it is. We have a silver is actually went down 80 cents, so now it's $18.93.
Oh,
That's dropped.
yeah.
We got platinum at $46 drop, and that's coming in at $864. Palladium took a $100 drop, and that went to $2,153. And rhodium stayed unch at $14,500. And the DJ, the S&Ps, and the NASDAQ were all in the red. That's, yeah, I don't know what's going on in the old stock world, but it ain't helping us much.
What's going on everywhere?
Not doing too good, huh?
What about the Bitcoin, Jared?
Bitcoin is currently at 18,937, floating above support.
Okay. Mooey, mooey, mooey.
It's floating above support. It ain't going to have support very long.
It's going to
It's
support.
kind of looking like it might at least touch that support.
Yeah.
And it's going to.
Well, there was an interesting thing the other day. I was watching an interview and they were talking about, like Bitcoin and what do you call it? The dang, we call it internet money, whatever you want to call it, the cashless currency or whatever. And in Canada, they had this week, I don't know what you'd call her, but anyway, that she said that if your truck semi was involved, either personal or company, was involved in the truckers strike they got up there in Canada right now, that they're going to freeze all their assets because they went cashless currency. So now the government can go in and just say, oh, freeze it, done, take it away. And that's why I don't think it's going to float. I mean, it sounds.
So you don't think they can freeze your normal currencies? And
if I got cash.
Well, if you got cash, yeah. I mean,
well, if you got everything in freaking on a computer, I'm just saying, if everything's on a computer, they could just flip a switch and it's gone.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You can't. If you could go to a bank, I mean, if it's federal, if the federals come in and say, okay, we have to freeze this account because some wrongdoing or drug dealer, I could see that, but they're just doing it because the trucks are protesting. Truckers are protesting, so they're gonna just freeze their cashless accounts. And which I think that's a bunch of crap.
Well, it is a bunch of crap.
It's just making it too easy to have federal government take over your money.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care how much you put into it, you ain't gonna get out what you think you're gonna get out. Not if they do what they want to do with it.
Okay, from the mind of Swiftwater. Thank you.
I'm telling you, buddy, I'm seeing skulls and crossbones on this stuff already. Looks like a Mr. Yuck sticker from back in the 80s.
What is Scott thinking? Yeah,
I'm telling you.
That's hard. Did you do all the prices? Yes, you did.
Yeah.
And
that digital currency or whatever, that's.
Well, we shall see. There ain't nothing doing good right now, so we'll see. Give it time.
I'm just saying.
I see Bitcoin going back to 60,000 again. What? Once we get out of the White House, everything will be fine.
Yeah. The boobery.
Yeah, we'll be able to make some money again.
Yeah.
All right, so
I just think, I don't know.
Jaron, you guys all ready? Scott to bring his guest in?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let me send him a link. Yeah.
Ow. Tim Fisher. I guess see what this fella's been up to.
Okay, I sent him the link. He'll come on here in a little bit. I did tell him that we were live on YouTube too. I think he had some friends who was going to watch it. Or he said he had people asking about it. But we'll see.
So while we wait for him, see this picture that I have in the background right now?
Yeah.
This is the top of the the sluice that he made, that little V place is
Uh-huh.
where is before the first drop riffle. So I seeded some gold and it caught it all in that V and mostly in the first drop riffle.
Nice.
So it's doing what it's supposed to.
Oh, heck yeah.
Well, as I said, if it does it and it keeps, keeps less black sand, that's the whole key, is to have a clean gold, but I mean, I know there's going to be some that stays around, but for the most part, that looks pretty clean. I don't see a lot of black sand.
No,
Yeah, it was further down in the next riffles, kind of. I haven't done an actual clean out yet, so I snuffered up that back and that first riffle, so I can kind of get an idea of how much went down further than that.
Yeah, if it catches it in that view, it's awesome. Heck yeah, they seem pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's small. That's what I like. You can just set it right.
What's he selling those for?
I don't know.
I don't know that he's selling them. He was just making them for the raffles,
right.
fundraiser raffles now. And he wants to continue doing it in the future. So
All right.
Maybe he will sell one. I don't know. You'd have to talk to him and see. Darth, do you make them and sell them? He might be onto something there.
He's not on here yet.
Oh, I thought he was. He should make them.
Well, I mean, if he's got a printer and everything, I wonder how much that he actually has to invest into making one. He could probably make something reasonable priced, that's the whole big thing, is to do something and have it reasonable priced. That way, because everything in prospecting seems like it's freaking out of hand expensive anymore.
Well, I think he's got a 3D printer, so that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
At first, I had some concerns about it and stuff and brought it up to him. So he actually made a second version. But now that I've had more time to test, you can see there was user error, not really a flaw in the design.
Right. Got it.
Well, you gotta get the right pitch. Is that what it is, Jeremy? And the water flow?
Yeah, that's what it seems to be. That's what I've been working on, and I had to do some like water
pretty much
flow.
Common.
Yeah, it's just common
thing when
testing.
you're dealing with them. Even the water tables, even your cleanup sluices, anything that you use, the majority of the time it's user error, because the simple fact of it is water pit or the pitch and water flow. Got to get the right pitch, got to get the right water flow. And it takes time to do that. Pretty much, you got to experiment.
Yeah.
Because when I build my equipment and I set it up, that's the first thing I do after I build something, is I run it through different tests, different pitches, different water flows, and find out where it works.
Yep.
I don't know where he's at. I sent him the link. I'm looking right at it here. Tim, if you're listening to us, all you got to do is type on the link and it'll bring it right in here.
Yeah. If he clicks on that link, it should bring him right into this meeting.
Yeah. Hey, look
there he is. There you go. You made it.
Hang on, he's got to connect with the audio here.
Audio connect.
What's up, y'all? Can you hear me?
Hey, there he is.
Yeah, we can.
Hey, I made it. What's up, gang?
We tried to make it easy on you with the link. It's easier than emailing it and all that stuff.
Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, so now Tim, you're gonna have to tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you're from.
I ain't much to tell.
Well, where you're from and what you're up to. Scott gave us little tidbits, so we're gonna let you fill us in on all the details.
Yeah, well, my name, of course, is Tim Fisher. We own a gold mine in Nash County, North Carolina.
Okay.
There's 8 gold mines in our county. Even the locals have no idea. It's kind of hilarious, that just people don't know about it. And, we post a lot of stuff, talk about it, and they're still just like stupid amazed at, the gold being, so many gold mines around here. But,
right.
Anyway, we're probably about 150 miles from the coast, so we're real far east in North Carolina. The 2 things that we do, my son helps me a lot. He's listening probably right now. He couldn't make it, but anyway, the two things that we do is we do a lot of pulling the big megalodon shark teeth, fossil hunting, and then the other thing is gold prospecting. And we end up buying part of a gold mine, and it was a pretty big gold mine for the area. It was called the Portus Gold Mine, was the actual name of it. Actually, the gold mine ended up being for sale on Craigslist.
Okay.
So yeah,
Really?
crazy. Yeah, it was on Craigslist. So we bought it. And the funny thing is, I guess I can say it's the funny thing now. We paid, a strong bit of money for this land. It was probably, I don't know, about 15 acres at the time. And it was sort of in a valley. The branch went through our property. And so my son and myself, his name's Ross. He helps me a lot. So anyway, he wanted to be in on it. So we bought it. And
Now, not to cut you off, but if it's not like claims out here in Arizona, you actually bought the land.
Yeah, we bought it. It's actually patented land. We own the land because I made really sure that in buying that land, I had the gold mining rights as well. In other words,
Mineral rights.
All the
mineral rights were mine. So I'm really particular about that. So we do have, mineral rights as well as patented land.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's funny. We bought the land and we were kind of picked at a little bit because we did pay, a fair bit of money for the land. And, it's like people pick on you by buying gold mine land. I mean, not gold mine, marshland. Yeah, you paid a bunch of money for marshland. So, and it is sort of low land, but there is gold on the property, and the branch that runs through that property, it has always yielded gold. I can go out there anytime, anywhere, and I can get you gold in a pan. It's not a problem.
Oh, wow.
Glacier gold. Yeah, and my son recently opened up a campground. NC Treasure Hunters is the name of his place, so you can go there, and he's got some sluices where you can, or flumes where we got running water, or he does running water through his side, and we've got some cabins, or he does got cabins and all. Because mainly what I do is we split the land. He did the camping and all the other stuff, shark tooth hunting and all that stuff on his property. Now, what I did with mine is mainly digging up this dredge. And that's really the big deal with us and that's what I'm getting at about, getting picked at for this property. When we bought it, I asked the guy that owned the land. He had inherited it from his dad, and we walked over the land. He didn't want to keep it. He wanted to sell it. And I said, look, in this little creek, a little branch, it's 4-foot wide branch, runs zigzags through there. I asked the guy, I said, look, what's there's some steel rods sticking up in places in the branch in a row. And I said, there's a little bit of wood you can see down at the bottom. And, what's the deal with that? And he said, it was a gold mine back in the day. And, and I said, well, I knew all this was gold mining land. He said, yeah, well, it's a dam. And they used it to dam up the water. And I said, okay, makes sense. Never give it another thought. So we fly to Alaska every year, and we film a lot with the Bering Sea Gold guys, the Pomerankies, and, Vern Atchison and the whole gang. So we fly up there every year and film. I was up there just recently, just got back, and it was filming actually in a gold fever prospecting up there, doing all dredging. We were dredging up there in your Chicken, Alaska.
Yeah.
So I just gotten back from that. But getting back to what I was going to tell you is we were up in Alaska. It's probably been, I don't know, 4 years ago, somewhere in there. My son had said, look, man, we're seeing these dredges in Nome, when we get back, we'll have to dig and just see, let's just see what's on our property. So we get back home from Alaska, and we've been filming up there. We get back here, and so we start to dig in the creek and find out that at 7 feet, we hit a wooden floor. And I thought, man, this probably isn't a dam, and we were both kind of puzzled about it. So we've got a little 50 John Deere excavator, nothing big, but big enough. So we moved up a little bit further where we had seen some more, steel rods sticking up. So we were doing a little more digging there. It didn't take us long to figure out there was a dredge sitting there.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we were just blown away. It was like, there's no way there could be a dredge here because it's buried underground. When I say this, there's a little creek or about a 60-foot wide creek that runs down a half a mile and 100 feet in elevation lower than where this dredge is.
Mhm.
So, it was like, this is crazy, and so anyway, got on the computer, did a little research, did a whole lot of research. Within a few days, found out that what had ended up happening was in 1905, they built a dredge, the Robinson Gold Dredge in 05 in New York. And they took it completely apart after they assembled it in New York, and they train carred it down on train cars down to Fishing Creek, which is down the creek down below where our place is.
Mhm.
So we got the, I did all this research, and then I got to finding out that there was a mining journal in 1906 that had all these pictures of the dredge sitting there.
Huh.
And I mean, just a lot of information on it. Couldn't believe it. So started doing my measuring with what I was reading on the internet. Everything lined up perfectly. So, we started uncovering it a little bit more. And of course, then we found out that the state and federal government said, look here, got to have permits for this kind of stuff. Even though you're on your own land, you got to have permits. So we dealt about 2 years with the state and federal government, and it worked out fine. But we had to go through all the hoops of going through the environmental stuff and through the wildlife and through, the Army Corps of Engineer, and I had to go through a lot. And it took basically right at 2 years, because we stopped until, we had everything just right. And then we were permitted to be able to dig this dredge up. So we started back on it. We have found some extremely cool things. Of course, the main thing is gold. We sell a lot of pay dirt. The dirt that we get off the ship, and there's probably about 3 feet of pay layer in that dredge. And that dredge, there's 2 feet of overburden on top of the dredge.
Right.
We took off 38 trees to get, to where we could see the outline of the dredge. There were 38 trees on top of it. Okay. So that tells you in 100+ years how much material filled in there.
Oh, yeah.
Now, did the roots do any damage to the wood structure?
Believe it or not, no, beautiful. What's crazy about it is the wood is beautiful. And so what happened was this little branch of water, it went through the dredge, and then it also went around the dredge, like, probably several hundred feet around. So that was kind of like saving grace, because there'd always been a split there. And so by the water not having to be rerouted, it already had a place to go. So that worked out. It took a little while, but we got things worked out. And so anyway, all this time 100 years, all this gold had been running into this branch because they were mining up from where we were at, and all of this material was getting into the stream, and it was going right straight to the dredge, and the dredge was like a giant sluice box. So it was catching all this gold. So we started selling, the pay dirt, and there's always a lot of good gold in it. We've had good, a lot of good response back. Plus you're getting dirt that is off this, really historical, dredge. I mean, we're talking far east. I mean, it's crazy how far east this dredge is. The historical people came down, the state people. They said it was the last known wooden hull dredge that exists in the eastern United States. So we're trying to preserve the dredge, put it back the best that we can to where it looks good. so it's a massive operation. There's like 5 guys that help me pretty religiously on the weekends. I can depend on them. And like I said, we've got the excavator. We have recently built a crane to do the work. If you look on Eastern Outdoor Expeditions Facebook page, you can see everything that I'm telling you. We post stuff just pretty much daily. So you can see the things that we're doing. So we needed a crane to reach out far enough to pull this dirt out in certain areas, because most of it has to be hand dug. You can't put an excavator in that dredge without tearing everything out. So you have to be really particular. But so the cool thing is, we one cool thing that we found was this old mason jar, and inside of it was a solid silver spoon where somebody had been eating their soup during the days of dredging, and I guess they ate their lunch, stuck it back in there. It fell through the deck boards over a period of time, and we found it.
Cool.
Yeah, just really cool artifacts. Today we found, you'll see it posted soon. We found an old liquor bottle on the dredge buried. I mean, it was probably 4 feet deep in the ground, 5 feet. And the cool thing, it was right about where the trommel was on the dredge. And that's the sad part is all the wood is there, and there is some metal workings there, but mainly it's just I don't know if during the Depression somebody pulled a steel off, or if they moved it and put it on another dredge. But we're looking buckets, so the steel work is really gone. It's just a hull, and that's about what we got. But it's big.
Wow.
Now, is there any kind of writings in the hull or anything like that where somebody took a knife or that kind of stuff?
Well, yeah. If you check our page out, last week we were digging and we found this big door, and it was one of the like bay doors or I guess hatch doors that went down in, because this dredge had a really deep hull. It was 7 feet deep. So if you went inside, it was like being in a full basement. I mean, it was huge.
Yeah.
So there was this door that had some of the deck boards had rotted on it. Some are still there, but it was sunk down in the mud. So we pulled this big door out, and engraved in it are the letters SA. I don't know what it stands for. If it stands, I'm not sure. Storage app, a starboard app. I don't know, but it's got SA engraved in big letters on the door. We took pictures of it, and we posted it.
Ah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but like I say, there's gold there. And I think a pretty decent amount of gold. Like I say, a lot of it is fine gold. We do find pickers. Every now and then we'll find like a picker nugget, where you can pick it up and hold it. I mean, it's nice. We recently signed on with a major television network. I really can't say who right now, but we will be posting here in another month or two. We'll be airing on big TV. So, we've done a lot of filming with a major network here just in the past, about 2 months ago.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. And then I've been approached by a couple of other big networks, and they want to do, something. So I told them, I said, you got a contract, I'm listening. So
now, is it going to be on the dredge that you're digging up, or just gold digging in general?
Both. Be on the gold and be on the dredge is kind of a combination of things. And it's been cool. We've I know on national news, we've been on there 2 times. Local news, we've been on there with the dredge. Let's see, we've made, I know we've been on national news twice, and we've been on, what's it called? There's another name. It's Epic TV, Epic News. That's worldwide news, where it goes to all the other countries. We've been on Epic News. So we've gotten a lot of publicity. Now it's just the thing of digging it up. It's a major ordeal, very time consuming. So
has anybody threw offers out at you, like museums or the historical people, for the dredge itself?
No, to do that would be a ridiculously expensive ordeal, and we're going to try to restore it right there. When I say that, we've already got in storage cypress timber to build her back 2-story like she was. The big deal will be finding, the ironworks to go with it. But structurally, we can put her back. The hull is in extremely good shape.
Nice.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, how preserved it is.
Yeah, but where are you going to find buckets, man?
Yeah, I know there's plenty in Alaska. It's just getting them back here might be I know where there's plenty at, but
You'll bring them back one bucket at a time.
one bucket at a time. That's exactly right.
Whatever works.
So I probably have to have some funding before then.
Yeah. That's cool though. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty darn interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Now, when you do your one of those, are they just shark teeth or are they megalodon teeth?
Oh, megalodon teeth. We pull a lot of big teeth. Oh man, big as your hand. I mean, we've got massive shark teeth. I mean,
Yeah, but where?
Yeah, where?
I don't have let's see. This isn't a really good one, but just to give you an instance, I mean, you can see compared to my hand, that's a small one. I've got them way bigger than my hand. I mean, this, you can see that the teeth, that will come out of actually this tooth come out of the same river that or creek. They call it Fishing Creek, but it's pretty wide. But this tooth came out of the same place that the dredge started out in, but it's in one county over. It's crazy, man. So we pull these. We pull whale bones. Oh Lord, we do all kinds of crazy stuff, man, and that's what we do.
How did they even get there?
Well, the state historical folks say that during dinosaur time or prehistoric time, about just about where our county kind of splits a little bit. There's this interstate called Interstate I-95. It's a pretty big interstate, and so they say from right about there east of North Carolina, that's where the shoreline was. So anything east of there, you'll find these teeth. So we go over one county over, we'll get in the creeks and the branches and the rivers. We'll start pulling up, man, all kinds of teeth. We've got big plans for tomorrow. The water's really low right now. So now is the time to be in the creeks and the rivers.
Oh, wow.
Those, I think those would freak you out if you found.
Yeah, that'd be cool to find one though.
It's cool, man. Look, when you put your hand on, it's kind of like gold. Nobody's touched that stuff.
Yeah,
right.
And it was a dinosaur shark.
Yeah,
Even cooler.
Do they have a lot of worth?
Do what now?
Do they have a lot of worth?
Oh yeah, those teeth. If you get a 6-inch tooth, which I find those two, the 6-inch teeth will bring about $4,000. So yes, like gold, man. That's the other gold, man. Look, when we're fossil hunting, that's money, and when we're doing gold, that's money. So hey,
man,
yeah,
$4,000 for a tooth. Can you imagine that?
They'll bring more than that. That's just an average. I mean, if you got a really, really museum piece, it could bring way more than that. Look, I've seen teeth. The biggest. On eBay a while back, somebody was trying to sell a megalodon tooth, and it was little over 7 inches, which is really, you don't find them like that very often, ever.
Right.
And this tooth was not a beautiful tooth. It was kind of dinged up, and it ran, when I took the picture of it on eBay, just to show people, I think it was at $28,000.
Man, I'm in the wrong business.
Wow.
I'm telling you, look, fossils are a big deal. They had the thing, what was it on Discovery Channel last year about the guy finding the T-Rex bones and all that craziness. Yeah, fossils are like the other gold.
Obviously.
So I like to have my hands in both of it.
I think I'd be looking for shark teeth or I'd be looking for gold. Holy
yeah, so we show a lot of people, people come down and want to hang out. Like I say, my son has a campground and stuff that he's got going on now. And so a lot of people come down, they want to do shark tooth hunting. We'll put them on it.
Okay.
Have you found any jaws?
No, because normally they deteriorate so bad in a shark. There's very little bone in a shark. It's mostly all more like gristle. and it just deteriorates away quickly. So there have been some, like in Peru, where it was extremely dry, that they found the jaws. And then they'll find, like, on a shark, there's 3 layers of teeth. So like rows. So, when they lose one, another one rolls into place, so to speak.
Right.
So that's why we're finding so many teeth, because they produced so many teeth. When they bite something, like they were feeding whales mainly, and they break a tooth, or it would come out while they were, biting on it and chewing on it. Another tooth would come right into place. So that tooth would hit the bottom, and sediment, same thing with gold. It would just settle in, and, it's crazy, man, the stuff that you find.
So when you find a tooth, is there a better chance that there's other teeth around it, or you just kind of find one because they fall out?
Yeah, they fall out normally. Like I say, the only places that I can go is the same thing, I guess you'd say, with gold mining is, when you're in the creeks and rivers, it's pretty much anybody's territory for the most part. Same thing with fossil hunting. If I were to go anywhere out east, and if I could dig down, say 12 to 14 feet, I'd be right into that layer. So I have to get where I can get it legally. I can actually be, in a place that is public domain, which is creeks and rivers. And what'll happen is we have all these floods and high rains and all this mess. It'll wash those teeth down, and they'll collect in gravel beds. So we developed a rake. It took about 2 years to develop a rake to where we could go in, which is a pitchfork, and it's got same thing. It's got expanded metal on the bottom of it, and it has sides on it about an inch and a half or so high. They go around the back and around the sides. It was boxed in like this, and then it's got the pitchfork at the bottom and the expanded metal under it. So you dig down in there in these gravel beds, and the teeth get stuck in there, and you shake you just shake it up, and the teeth, you'll see them pop right out if they're in there,
So it's almost like a digging classifier.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. We developed also one, we just hadn't put it in production, the same thing with aluminum attachment on the bottom. Is real streamlined to where you can dig under rocks and gravel, and it has 3, I guess, like you'd say, on like some of like the Garrett Super Sluicer, it has those real deep, ridges, for, when you're panning.
Right.
Put deep ridges in this so that you can run that pitchfork under there, shake it real good, dump it out, and that gold will be sitting in those ridges. So you can use it to, prospect gold with as well.
Huh.
Cool.
Tim, we had a question about the dredge. Do you know if it was stripped of those buckets, or
I
did they
think so.
decay?
Yeah,
Maybe for war efforts or something?
I think so. There's no metal whatsoever on that end, as well as the like, I know it had 2 steam engines on it, because when it was, all the information that I had, which was out of the 1906 mining journals, talked about it extensively, and they said, all the things that were on it. It was really explicit. And so I started metal detecting on the back end of our property, and I think they offloaded the material, the equipment and stuff back there, and some of it they just left. I don't know why. Mainly because I have found like the big, I'm trying to think, like the big counterweights, like on a shaker table. They're probably big as a plate, and there's a hole bored in it in the middle, and there's also a hole bored in it, and it's egg shaped. It's not round. So it was like a counterbalancer, and there were 2 of them. They were identical, and they were sitting side by side. So I'm finding, metal parts off the dredge, like where they offloaded it behind the dredge, and they carried it so far, and I don't know if a storm came up, if it got wet, because this is sort of wetland. I don't know if that was the problem, to where they just couldn't, they just left it and decided not to worry with it, but they did offload a lot of equipment, and we're finding that. I just wish we could find the buckets, and of course the steam engines.
Right.
Yeah, Jaron, that was a good point. I never thought about that. The war effort back at, what was it, 40s?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that I could see people taking that, for the steel.
Yeah.
I can see that. Because like I
We're-
said, you're not finding a lot of
yeah.
pieces.
Yeah, we're not finding a lot of stuff. It's been, we're constantly looking, but we are only probably maybe, I would say, a little more than a 10th way into really inside the dredge, like where you would start finding stuff. We did find one of the walls that had fallen over, and it was embedded in the mud, probably about 2 feet down. So what we did was we started digging that out. The red paint is still on the outside wood.
Wow.
Still, so we know what color it was. And then the windows were still there, and the bay door. So the hinges still work on the door. And we were able to salvage some of that, as well as the one of the windows in it, the first one we found. So we salvaged that and treated it. And so we've got a relic room right now where you can see the artifacts that were taken out.
That's hard to believe you found a window still intact too.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Glass in it. It was broken, but still the glass was pretty much there, to where we could show it. And the crazy thing is too, that one wall is laying over, but the other 3 walls, I'm thinking that probably the locals back in the day, they need to build a barn, and they went there and they went to stripping wood off that thing.
Possible.
Yeah, I really believe that, because there's only one wall left, and I think that it just fell over from them taking the other 3 walls down, and they just said, forget it. Yeah.
I could imagine, because I've seen it, like I said, that one video you showed the big timbers against your foot and everything. I'm like, those are bigger than some barn timbers I've seen.
Yeah, it is. It's a floating great big factory or barn. I mean, those are the huge, those timbers. A lot of them, the one I measured one today, it was 12 inches square. That beam was 12 inches.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Big.
And it's in good shape,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, excuse me. So what's your plan when it's completely dug up and done? What's the plan? Are you going to just display it there? Or are you going to move it somewhere and set it
just
up?
display it there. Yeah, because that's something I was going to tell you. That dredge is probably a quarter mile, at least a quarter mile from the main road, and to get it out, it would be crazy, because there's we're in a valley. We bought the valley, and it's hard to get in and out of there. We have to have a ridge on the property, right on our property line, that's high, and it's away from the wetland and the water. And so I believe back in the day, it was a wagon trail that went back there, because it was a flat spot that was dug out in this hill. It was probably about 9-10 feet wide. And so we cleaned it up. There was some brush and small trees that started growing in there. So we dug all that out, cleaned it out, cut the trees, and just cleaned it up. And so that's how we get our equipment back there. We've got, like I said, that excavator takes about 7 feet of space. So I was able to get that back there. We've got a couple of backhoes, a skid steer. It takes a lot of stuff to make this job work.
Sure.
Huh.
And the crazy thing is, people say, "Oh, you got all this equipment," but the problem is you just can't. You can't put a backhoe or an excavator in there without ripping it all to pieces. You can't.
That'd be like somebody trying to operate with a shovel.
Yeah, exactly. So, we do all our stuff with, like today, we dug for, I'll post it probably tonight. You won't believe, right where the trommel is, there was a compartment in there that I dug out, started on it yesterday. I completed it today. That compartment has wood all the way around it. So that compartment was right behind the main wall where the trommel started at. And that, let's see, it was, you can figure 7 feet deep, and then you can figure the size of a bathroom that I dug out today, which was like 7 feet deep, and then 12 feet long and 6 or 7 feet wide.
Wow.
And those walls go all the way around. It was like a compartment, a chamber. And so and it's got a false floor in it. I don't know why that's like that unless they had something there, some type of piece of equipment. I'm not sure, but it's deeper there. So, and the wood is beautiful, man. And that's where I found the liquor bottle. Somebody was getting drunk there, I guess. But so that was kind of cool. And, we found some fire bricks. We found some regular bricks in there. Just interesting things.
You know what? I think it'd be cool if you found any coins.
Oh yeah, I'm looking hard, brother. Let me tell you, I got the old Mind Lab smoking, man. The old Monster 1000. I'm going at it. But the aggravating part is all the big deck nails and the big steel rods that they beat, put everything together with. It aggravates that metal detector bad.
Oh sure.
But we cleaned that out today, and like I say, that was just another job done, but a lot of work, because you drop the excavator bucket in there, and then basically you shovel everything into the excavator bucket, and then you have to take it out and dump it. Then you have to move it from there to higher ground. So it is like it's a big process,
Right.
If you're small time, we're small time. So
Right. No, I got it, but I'm surprised.
But all that dirt that you're taking out of that, you're running it through something to check for gold, right?
Yeah, we run some. We've got a guy that he is really into gold, and he's got a huge mine. He's got a huge construction operation near the coast, closer to South Carolina, and so he finds all these shark tooth. He's into this area where it's just all this prehistoric stuff. So I said, I'll tell you what. You bring me 16 tons of, prehistoric material, and I believe we can hook you up with some pay dirt. And so we switch it out. And then also what we do is, like I say, we sell a lot of pay dirt bags that have gold. I mean, everybody so far has seemed to be pleased with it. Some's got more in it than others, but it's a lot of fine gold in there, some pickers in there sometimes. And then we run some, ourselves. And then we try to keep up with what artifacts, small stuff that we may miss. We run it through a sluice box. We build a trommel. It's all homemade stuff. We're building a bigger one now to run more material. So we'll probably run more material through there as we excavate,
Yeah.
And all your pay dirt comes from that dredge.
Yes. Everything comes from that dredge. Everything that we sell. It does me a favor. I need to get the dirt out of there, and then I know there's gold in there, and you wouldn't believe how much pay dirt gets shipped out to people in different parts of the country, especially northern part of the country, that they want to stockpile it. So in the wintertime, they have material to run in their building. I'm serious.
We call them garage miners out here.
Yeah, there you go. They say when it freezes up, they got dirt to run. I say, you call me up and we'll ship it to you.
Now, where can you get this dirt?
Just Eastern Outdoor Expedition Facebook page, or on NC Treasure Hunters Facebook page. That's my son's set up. So he does. I'm old school, man. I'm usually old cash kind of guy, or check or whatever. He does the PayPal stuff. I'm an old timer, man. But, so I said, you handle it, and I'll help you the best way I can. But so usually what I do is we'll do bags, and these bags now are probably 2.5 gallon or 3 gallon bags. So it's not like you're getting a Ziploc bag. These bags are $20 a bag, but there's a lot of material in that bag.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times there's wood off the dredge. There may be a dredge spike in there. We shovel the stuff in, and we put it in the bags and let it rip. And so, people have called me and said, hey man, there was a piece of glass. And I said, well, cool, man. If we send it out, there you go.
Right.
That's something you look at and say, hey, this is a piece of history. So,
so it's definitely unsearched pay dirts.
Yeah, we put it in there, and there you go. That's what you get. We just shove it in there. We dig it right out of the ship. We put a big pile there, and then I'll take because I usually let it sit and dry for about 3 days because it's damp or wet. Because we'll have to pump the ship out, weekly, because it'll fill right back up with water, which protects it. But from time to time, we let water stay in there what we'll end up doing is putting salt treated beams back in from the top, like the top deck. They go straight down and they will bolt to the old beams, which are in excellent shape, but we'll bolt to them and they'll be on something solid. And then what we'll do is we'll put brand new joists across, deck joists, and then from there we'll put brand new decking down, and then we have something solid to build on.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we won't have the floor opened up for the most part, so that we've got underwater LED lighting. We can keep it wet if the water stays clear. So you'll be able to go inside and you'll be able to look down in there and see the original, dredge. It'll just be sunken, but you'll be able to see it. But you'll be, on dry land or dry deck.
So we had another question. Have you got it extracted enough? Have you got to the motor or the generator or anything like that where it should be?
Yeah, all we've done so far is just probably about 20 feet of the front, which hadn't even really got to where the building part started. We're actually in the front part ahead of where, where the pilot house would be, or winch room and all of that. So we hadn't gotten that far, except I did want to just poke a hole, because we've had a drought here. We're in a drought right now. Of course, there's a hurricane coming off Florida, so that's getting ready to change probably within a week. So with all this going on, we decided to take the excavator yesterday and punch a hole about where the trommel is. Let's just see what we got. You won't believe it. The dirt that's coming out of where that trommel is black. It's black, fine sand. And I'm hoping there's a lot of micro gold in it at best. At least, there should be a lot of better gold in there. But the crazy thing is, it's just like pure black sand, and it's several feet thick. I'd say probably 4 feet thick of black sand, and it's right where the trommel was at. So that's where we punched a hole yesterday and started digging, and we completed that today, that one section. So we have moved back, and we did that today, and I'll post tonight the pictures of that, because when you see it, you won't believe it. It's like we just, it's like just picking a spot in the woods and, okay, I'm going to dig right here. And so that's what we did. And it was like, it's crazy stuff that we're finding.
Do you know who owned the dredge? Have you found that out?
It was the Robinson Gold Dredge, and this Robinson guy built a lot of dredges in the early 1900s. This was actually the second dredge that was built by the Gold Bond Dredge Company. Okay, and I'm going to tell you something that's really crazy. I know all this was meant to be, because all these different things fit together like a puzzle. Most people would have run like hell, because when you see the magnitude of this job, you'd say, there's no way on earth I'm taking that on. Well, let me tell you, this guy, he was from up Maine way, up in the near Maine, and he came down in 2002, and in Arizona, he started a dredge there. And it was this dredge that we've got is a sister to that dredge. So he started that one first. The name of his company was the Gold Bond Dredge Company. Okay, so so he got that one started. I would like to get on the hunt to find out what happened to that dredge, but it was in Arizona. I just know that much. So as I started researching, I found out he started this dredge. Well, he was the kind of guy that liked to he was real shady. He would plant gold here and there. And so even though he was on this huge gold mine that was producing, he wanted these investors to spend a lot of money trying to hurry up and, get this dredge. There's just not been a dredge in this part of the United States, eastern North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So he talked some people into spending some money. They got, I think it was around $200,000, which was a lot of money in, 2005. So he got this dredge going, and less than a year, he squandered off the money and took off with the gold that he had gotten, didn't pay his investors, got back to Maine, and they caught him, and they put him in prison. So they put the dredge up for sale within a year of it running. And then I believe it was, I'm trying to think of the name, was it Carolina Dredge Company? I think bought it in the courthouse steps. So they bought this dredge. And then they ran it to what I understand around 1912 is what I'm thinking. And then they just, nothing else was said about it. So it ran for a while. So something as crazy is I got on the internet when I was doing all this research and I thought, I'll just punch in, Gold Bond Dredge Company and just see what comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't finding much. So I don't know why I did it, but I got on eBay and I punched in Gold Bond Dredge Company. Well, the first thinking thing that popped up there was this, somebody was selling this bond, a bond like a gold, like if you were going to get a bond to a gold mine or anything. But because it was labeled as Gold Bond Dredge Company, it popped up there. And this person was selling this. He put it up on eBay. Well, got to looking at the picture. It was beautiful. It's original. It was like 1902 with all the signatures on it and 3 tabs torn off where they had sold 3 bonds. 3 people that participated in buying these bonds. I think they were $100 a piece back in the 02.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was all, had the seal on it, the stamp, and like notary. It had the dates on it, the original signatures. Well, that thing was on eBay for sale. And so I bidded on it and got the thing for like $11. So, I couldn't believe it. And so it's the sister dredges, Don't know what happened to that one. I haven't had a chance to really research that. Don't really know the name of it, but I do know that it was the same person.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, that was just another crazy thing that popped up. That was a link that I had no idea about. And like I say, I did a little research in the beginning and found out that there were like 4 mining journals in 1906, like the U.S. Iron Works and the Mining Journal. And there was, there were like 4 different journals. Funny thing is they all had the same pictures. All of them shared the same pictures of this dredge that was sitting possibly close to where it's at now on the same property, I think. And it gave a real detailed description about how deep the hull was, how wide it was, how long it was, how many steam engines, had 2 steam engines on it.
Okay.
So it was really explicit about everything. And so that's been really nice to have something to go by, to say, hey man, I can link this, and it explained, this like there was a bridge right down from where the dredge is now. And in the old days, it was called Ransom's Bridge. That was listed in there as part of the location. So in Nash County, North Carolina. So we knew this was exactly the same dredge. But yeah, it's been really cool. It's been a long ride, but everything has really linked together. Just unbelievably crazy. It's
That's
meant to
kind of
be
unique, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
And our buddy Ray Russo was asking, based on what you know about that, do you know if it's like on an incline or how many trees you think you're going to have to remove to get to the end of it? Or
And by the way, hey Ray, I know I kind of keep up with him. Yeah, but we've taken off 38 trees off that dredge. 38. That poor 50 John Deere has really sweated her bucket off. I tell you, man, it's been a lot of work. And when I say that, I've been mighty thankful to have. I've got a relentless, strong group of guys. There's 5 of us. They work hard. They really give it all they got, and they'll come on the weekend. Sometimes they'll come during the week if there's a holiday. They want to be a part of it, and I give them 100%. Look, you guys are in. I'll give you credit for everything you do, and if we get gold, I'll share it with you. It's not about the money; it's about the experience. I can't say that enough. It's linking all this stuff together and sharing it with somebody else. We don't charge a dime. People come every day to see this dredge.
Wow.
And so, hang on there. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Well,
It happens.
that's my ringtone. But guys, it's just unbelievable. All the cool stuff that we're finding and sharing it with people, as well as
It is.
the kids that come down, and it's just nice to be able to show others.
Now, have any of the local colleges wanted to send their archaeology students down there to help you or just to learn something?
Well, when I first started out and I was kind of trying to get through all this state rigmarole, there was a college that was very interested, but they were already a year out. COVID was still a problem. See, when I did this in 1909, that's when the crap hit the fan, man, and people just, it was terrible.
Sure.
So, it just kind of, I guess, fell in the cracks. And so I said, you know what, we're going to do this. We're going to make this work. And it just worked out, but it's going to take time. I think it's probably a 2-year project. That's what I'm thinking right now.
It'll be worth it because it's cool.
Yeah, I hope so.
What's the name of the website again? Gold Expedition?
Yeah, I'm looking on.
Yes, Eastern Outdoor Expedition. There's our logo right there. I was gonna say our logo is.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on Facebook.
I've posted the Facebook ones. I haven't looked for an official
that's
page.
Us right there, Eastern Outdoor Expeditions. That's our logo. That's us. So, and then also NC Treasure Hunters is my son's.
Right. I just went to
both of those
and liked them because people are saying they can't find where they can get the pay dirt at.
Yeah. If they contact either one of them, especially NC Treasure Hunters, he has a way of doing the PayPal thing.
Just send him a message or something.
Send him a message on Facebook. Through his Facebook page.
Treasure Hunters.
Yeah, NC Treasure Hunters.
NC Treasure Hunters.
Yes, and Eastern Outdoor Expeditions. What we do is we basically film gold prospecting. We've been to Arizona several times. We've been to Alaska. We go there every year and film with some folks and do prospecting. We've been to the AKAU Lodge up in with Augie and Betty and
here I am still not on TV. I don't know.
Yeah, you got to come on, brother. You got to come on down. I saw you in Arizona, but you need to come to North Carolina.
Well, I was going to, man, but it's too much money.
It is. It's quite expensive. To go to Alaska this year probably was about $1,300 to $1,400 just to, it was a round trip, but that was to go to Fairbanks and back. It's expensive right now to get around.
See, we went up to Alaska and you were already an ounce in a hole.
Yeah, sure did. Yeah, when I came out there with an ounce, brother. Look, I dredged for that place is so rich with gold. Ginger, that her and her husband, they are the nicest people I swear you will ever meet. You probably met them when they were in Arizona at the GPAA shows, and just super nice people. And their thing is dredging. I have a 4-inch dredge that we've used from time to time, but up there I used a 6-inch dredge. There's another guy, John Iverson, to help me out. We worked together, but between the two of us, really, we left there with we had more than in 3 5-hour shifts that we did over an ounce of gold, and we could have done way better than that. We just the water, it's fall of the year, the water was getting cold, and I'm gonna tell you now, look. When it's like 38 degrees and, your wetsuit's wet and you got to put that cold thing on, and, then jump into water, which wasn't bad. Once you got past the initial shock of putting that wetsuit on, then you were good, and I was using I had a 5 mil suit, but they had, I think, a 7 mil suit there. So I used their suit, and then they had hot water and all that too, but I didn't even use their hot water. But, that 7 mil suit made a big difference, and the 7 mil gloves, and we were more or less long arming than anything. I could have done the other, but we were staying within, about chest deep water. I mean, as far on your knees, but your head's not underwater. So, right. So that worked out, really well. A lot of gold there, man. A lot of crazy gold there. Mm-hmm. Same thing with the AKAU Lodge. We go there. I used to go there every year. just unbelievable goals. So we'll go somewhere every year and we'll film in Alaska. We'll film shark tooth hunting. We'll film some of our stuff here. And so our shows air on, we tell everybody it's to see all the shows that we do, like our Alaskan shows, our shark tooth shows. What you would do is you would Google, or you can go to Amazon Fire Stick, Roku TV, but you go to Gen 7 Outdoors is the platform, or what you would look up is GEN, the number 7 Outdoors. So it's Gen 7 Outdoors. They're all outdoor shows. And get this, guys, if you guys want to post anything, there's no charge to be on national TV. Most people don't know this. It's no charge. So you can have a TV on national TV. When I say that, it's internet national TV, right, or live streaming, and they play them year round, but they have a set. You pick your months and they'll play them for you at a certain time. But it's on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and we have over 900,000 viewers. So I think we do very well to be small time.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And I've been really thankful. I've got some really good sponsors. Gold Cube has been one, and as you'll know, Clint with Gold Claw. I'm a strong supporter of him. I use this stuff and I stand by it. And anybody that questions it, I'll be glad to show them. It's a learning curve. You got to learn something different, But if you get the hang of it, I can smoke somebody over now going through some, when I'm prospecting, I can take the biggest pan with me, and I can really wear it out.
Yeah.
It's a good prospecting tool. Mine Lab, they're big. They've been really good supporters of our show, and they have really good equipment. And when I say that, I'm using it, but I use it to show people it works. It's not like, hey, I've got this. They're paying me to do this, but it isn't that good a tool. When I use it, I'm really funny about what I use. And if it's a piece of crap, I don't want to mess with it, because I don't want to get somebody confused and say, well, he did it and it works. And it's like, you want to show people the right way, at least the way I do it, and other people may have a different opinion, of course, but I can show people how I do things and it works for me.
Yes. Yeah, and you don't want people going, well, Tim said that was a good piece of equipment.
Yeah, that's right. And I try to tell everybody, if you got a question about something, I'll show you how I do it, and I can show you that I'm successful in what I'm doing. It's just like, I constantly show people the old Gold Claw, getting in there and just hitting several places in the branch of water. I can always get gold out of there. It's fine gold, but I can always get gold out. And, it's just learning a different way of doing something. Sure. That's all.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely it. It's a learning curve. Yeah. But once you get it, then you
you don't forget it, and I can switch back and forth from a round pan to, the Gold Claw. You just get it in your mindset, and, right. They're all good products. I really don't want to kick any of them, because, it's just a different way of doing something. And, that's kind of the way I look at it. And I like, like the Garrett that had the super sluicer. To me, I like a big pan. I want something that you can throw the material to it and go to town. I like to go big with a lot of material.
Yeah.
Instead of this, 8-inch, 9-inch pan that, looks like a little saucer. I want the biggest thing I can get, man. And so, and talking to Clint, I said, look, dude, I said, we got to get a big pan here, dude. And so, he come up with a big one. He did some prototypes. We took them to Alaska, and, you could put basically 3 shovels full of material in there. And I'm talking clunky rocks in there.
Yeah.
You can see any of the videos that I was telling you about. If you go through, Gen 7 Outdoors, you can go on back and see our stuff. We run them, and I give them hell, man. And, we find the gold and just dump the rocks. Basically, you're dumping the material out.
Right.
Real quick, like you're just dumping it out. And, all you got left in there is a little bit of stuff, but what you got in that little bit of stuff, that's where the gold is. So it's doing it fast. That's my thing is, putting it in there. And then normally I don't fine tune my gold. If I'm prospecting, what I'll do is I'll take a 5-gallon bucket. I'll take that and I just run the bigger side where it's got the deeper cleats in the pan. So what I do is I'll dump that out. I'll just put a little water in the pan, dump it right in a 5-gallon bucket, and I'll just keep right on cruising for a bit. Yeah, and then you've got, after a short period of time, you've got about 2 inches of good material in that 5-gallon bucket instead of, a 5-gallon bucket you're trying to lug out of there. You've got the best of what you need.
Exactly, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah. We have to walk a lot of places, so look, weight is everything.
Yeah. When you're going up down hills and stuff, it matters. You're like, no.
Yeah.
I ain't carrying that pocket full of rocks.
Oh yeah, because that's what you're doing is lugging around a bunch of stuff you don't have to have.
Yeah.
So I've been a big fan of trying to really thin out, the material to where you're down to the thin stuff, and then you can save it for a rainy day, or you can you can, when you're ready, you can just run the best material through, and there you go.
Yep. You get it home and then go through it at your leisure and just be like, there's all the good stuff.
Yep, that's right.
All the crap there where you found it.
Yep.
That's the way I see it. All right, let's take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back with more from Tim Fisher. We'll be right back, everybody.
All right.
Do you like to mine for gold? Enjoy prospecting a nice crack in the bedrock? Enjoy getting outdoors to camp, fish, hunt, and hike on your public lands? You plan your trip, load the gear, grab the dog, put the family in the truck, and drive off to a locked gate. A sign says you cannot enter or access your own public lands. Mining claims and public land owned by we the people are being designated as off limits by our own government every single day. Are you concerned about the direction our government is going? Are you tired of seeing no access, no entry signs on your lands? We are, and we are fighting back. We are AMRA, America Mining Rights Association, the fastest growing small mining advocacy association in America. AMRA is a 501c3 not-for-profit formed by miners, hunters, off-roaders, retired military men and women to stop the insanity. AMRA was formed to educate, unite, and help the small miners and public land users on their rights given to us by God. Do you want access to great mining claims? For a small tax-deductible donation to their miners' legal fund, your family gains access to proven excellent mining claims across America for an entire year. AMRA challenges the USFS, BLM, EPA, and the other agencies intent upon stopping you from enjoying your own lands. You are who pays these wages. It is time they listen to us. We need to unite. And that is what AMRA is doing. As you sit here right now, thousands of acres of public lands are being closed, locked, and blocked from use by you. Are you fed up yet? Join us. Get in on this fight and let's restore America to what our families fought and died for. Freedom. Just visit AmericanMiningRights.com. AmericanMiningRights.com. Also, check us out on Facebook at American Mining Rights Association. AmericanMiningRights.com.
In 1858, gold was discovered in the rivers of New Caledonia. This discovery would spark a massive gold rush. Today, the search for gold is much easier, yet still challenging with Dirt Hog Pay Dirt. At Dirt Hog, we pride ourselves on our gold and guaranteed gold amounts. Just visit DirtHogPayDirt.com today and buy yourself a bag of the best pay dirt concentrates on the market. Order with confidence in Canada and North America. DirtHogPayDirt.com, the best gold concentrates on the market, period. Also, be sure to check out our Honest Bonus program.
If you're interested in gold prospecting or treasure hunting as a career, hobby, passion, or just something you're interested in getting into, you have to visit goldprospectorspace.com. At goldprospectorspace.com, you'll find forums, chats, videos, blogs, sections on dry washing, metal detecting, high banking, and so much more. At goldprospectorspace.com. There's a store, classifieds, and at goldprospectorspace.com every Sunday night tonight at 7:30 Eastern Time, tune in to Prospectors Radio, the talk show for gold prospectors and treasure hunters. GoldProspectorspace.com is a social network with thousands of members, and everything you need is at GoldProspectorspace.com. Sign up today and get connected to others who share your love of gold and gold prospecting. Let the treasure hunt begin at GoldProspectorspace.com. GoldProspectorspace.com.
All right, everybody, we're back with Tim Fisher. Tim, you'll have to unmute because I had to mute you.
I don't think he's in the chair.
Just click that, ask to unmute. So yeah, that's weird. I mute him and then I got to ask him to unmute. Strange.
Well, like I said, I don't think he's sitting in a chair. He probably took a break.
Yeah, he'll be back. There.
The ask to unmute is just kind of like a reminder. They can unmute if they know how.
Is it? Okay. Because I had to mute you, Tim, so you'll have to unmute. You find it?
It'll be down at the bottom. Move your mouse.
In the bottom left is
when you're old, you got to wear these things.
That's like all of us. Then
It's like me. I got these little.
Scott has his Mr. Monopoly. That's his Monopoly man. Not like $200.
They're better. They fit in my back pocket easy.
Are those flexible, Scott? So they don't.
Yeah.
So if you put them in your back pocket and sit down, they don't break.
Well, it's a little thin case it's got, so it won't break. But the glasses themselves, they're just like, they're rubber in the middle of them. So
And
you guys are talking about teeth. There's a big tooth now. All right, you see how big that tooth is? Now that's a pretty tooth.
yeah.
I
Holy
find one. I want to find one of them. That would be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You need to just come on down here and look. It's funny. Mike Pun will tell you, look, I got him addicted to them things. He'll come down and he wanted to go shark tooth hunting. I said, you sure you don't go prospect? No, I want to do shark tooth hunting. I said, okay. I had old Santa Claus hooked bad, man. Look. So every year he's like, I want to go shark tooth hunting.
Well, Mike finds so much gold. He's like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to tooth hunt, and then it's funny. Debbie from Mine Lab, she's the same way. She said, "Oh man, I want to find a tooth," So I tell everybody, if you come down this way, there's a couple of different things we can do. You know how it is when you hunt something where it's arrowheads or deer or whether it's turkey or gold or whatever or bottles.
Yep.
You get that in your blood, and it's hard to get it out.
Oh yeah, it is. But to find one of them, it would be like that'd be the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
You come on down to North Carolina, bro. I keep telling y'all, and you come on down and hang out. And Ross said, look, be sure it's NC Treasure Hunters Campground.
Right.
So
I liked it on Facebook. I found it.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
And yours too. Both of them.
Thank
So hopefully
Razor had another question, like a two-parter for you. He said,
Sure.
do you think that the old timers dammed up that valley in order to float the dredge? And is there any tailing like it was actually used back in the day?
Oh
Tailing
yeah,
piles?
yeah. Let me tell you, what the article was about that I read. It was stated that same branch of water that runs through. What happened was it was equivalent to a 9-inch water line. So that dredge would dig maximum 30 inches deep. 30 feet deep, 30 feet deep max. So as it was digging its way through there, it was making its own dredge piles. It took, dredge ponds actually, and then it was doing its own tailing piles out the back. So it had like a 85-foot stacker conveyor on the back, and it was stated that it was around 25 feet in height. So you're talking about a pretty high pile when you're running all that material out, and it took 3 feet of water to actually float the dredge. So what would happen is, as it was digging, that same branch of water was filling in, making the dredge ponds that it was digging And then as it would run out the back, the stacker, that would actually make the damming system to where they could go up that valley to, to keep dredging. Well, when we bought the land, to start with, we knew they were tailing piles. I was thinking to start with from mining days is just like they just took, big trailers and dumped, the material out there back in the day just to get rid of it. Well, once I found out it was a dredge, and I found out that the dredge was basically 10 feet in the ground with the overburden, I took the backhoe, hit one of those tailing piles or dredge piles, found out that they go on down 8 to 10 feet deep. So I was only seeing the top of these piles. So the cool thing is these piles are virgin piles. They've never been touched. I know when you go into Alaska in the past, a lot of places that we'd metal detect is they do a push. They would go in where these dredge piles are. They would push back 2 or 3 feet of material, and you could metal detect. And really, that's where all the big gold was at. The dredge didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that's what we're in the midst of doing now is, getting some equipment back there because it's in a really aggravating place to get to. But bring equipment in back there, and we need to get a dozer in there. I'm working on that right now to get a dozer in so we can do a push. Then we can see what the real stuff is, because if there's any big gold, it should be in those piles, and they've never ever been touched.
Wow!
So this is what you do for a living, then?
Yeah, when I'm retired, I did electrical work for 31 years and retired. I'm 61, man. I'm an old goat, man. Look, so I, been doing this for years. So I decided, we're gonna give it a shot. So I've got.
So do you guys dredge down there too at the camp?
Not yet, but we will. That's something that's in the works. Because the branch of water is not real big. It's probably about 4 feet wide, maybe.
Okay.
In summertime, you do not want to be in there, brother. Let me tell you, cottonmouth snakes are terrible. They're highly venomous.
Yeah.
And they will chase. They'll come to you. People say, "Oh, they're not gonna bother you." Well, I'm here to tell you right now, brother. Look. They will come to you. I'll flick them away and they'll come back. And so that's when you have to get lead poisoning. And yeah, I said it. I said it on TV there. Yep. I try to leave wildlife alone, but I ain't getting bit by no poisonous snake.
I agree.
No, if you get rid of them, they come back. It's time to go.
I've said it plenty of times. Yep.
Yeah.
I got that for every one of them.
Yeah, man. I mean, they're real aggressive. And that's the thing about it, most snakes are not so much like even the copperhead snakes don't really come towards you. Black snakes, they're more of a friendly snake, but the cottonmouth snake, most of the time, they're real, they want to know what's going on. They're like interested in what's going on, and they'll come back to where something's moving at. And so it's weird. I'm telling you, man, you try to flick them away from you, and a lot of times they'll come back towards you, and it's like, well, you asked for it. So, and there's so many kids that come down there, and I can't have it,
No. You got to
yeah, and so that's the only thing I tell people. They want to pan in the creeks. I know Ross has got a setup where you can go and you can pan and do, probably some high banking.
Mm-hmm.
But you just got to be careful because the way that branch is laid out, it's not a definitive bank. In other words, it doesn't come up real smooth with sand. It's like it has an overlay of some grass or whatever on it. So you can't see the sides real clearly. Best time to come is like in the wintertime. When it's cold, I always tell everybody my favorite time of the year is from October until around April. It's cold. I like cold weather. Don't have snakes, you don't have ticks, you don't have red bugs. You don't have all these, no vegetation, everything goes away.
Nice, yeah.
And, hey, I can throw a 55-gallon drum with some wood in it. And hey, if I get cold, I know how to light it up.
That's all you need.
Redneck, brother, you know how it is.
That's all you need.
Definitely.
See,
Make it work.
That would be the time definitely to come down there.
Yeah, wintertime's much better. It really is. would invite you guys to come out. You know, it'd be something different, you know.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
And it's close to, you know, like Rocky Mount is the city. There's a little town of Nashville that I actually live in, and it's probably about a 25-minute drive at best. So it's probably about 17 miles from my house where the gold mine is. Now, Ross lives up there. But if you came into town, there's a lot of places to stay. There's, you know, restaurants. You know, it's real convenient.
Right.
Cool.
So that would be something, you know, to consider, you know.
What was the name of the town?
The little town, I call it Mayberry. It's about like Mayberry. It's the little town of Nashville, like Nashville, Tennessee. Well, we're the original Nashville.
Wow.
Nashville, North Carolina. And then Rocky Mount is actually the bigger town, hotels and fancy restaurants and all that stuff. But that's Rocky Mount would be, you know, probably your place to stay.
Right.
And then RDU, which is Raleigh Durham, you know, International Airport. That's probably about 50. It's less than an hour to Nashville. So, you know, it's not an hour away. So, you know, you could fly in there, and it's about an hour.
Yeah.
Out.
So that's probably for us, from Ohio, probably about 13-hour drive, 13, 14.
That's not too bad if you broke it up in 2 days. I mean, a lot of times, you know, you could do that, break it up in 2 days and come down. And then, like I say, if you wanted to camp at the campsite, you know, I know we're working on cabin number 2, trying to get it right. We've got an old a log cabin, miner's cabin it's small, but we've got one finished, you know, and he's got, you know, a burn pit there and a grill and, you know, a deck there, and so it's set up right. I mean, the firewood's waiting on you, and
man,
you know, everything's ready to go, man. You just have to bring the steaks and the beer, brother. Oh, Kool-Aid or whatever it is you're drinking.
I'll bring the venison sticks and all kinds of stuff.
There you go, brother.
That sounds like the place to go right there, I'm telling you.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's quiet. It's back in the woods. You'll hear the hoot owls at night, and you'll hear the coyotes a little bit. But other than that, I mean, you know, it's just a nice getaway.
Mm-hmm. What about
there you go.
What about gemstones? Any of those down there too?
The crazy thing about all of this, which is something else, it's the craziest land you've ever heard of. The guy that got me interested in the whole mining thing, we used to go to church together, and the old guy was telling me about he was married to his daughter was married to one of the guys that owned the mine. The grandparents actually owned the mine, so it goes way back several generations. Well, his daughter was married to one of the 3 brothers, and so he was telling me that there was this old guy he would see parked beside the road, and he would go under this culvert. And so curiosity got the best of him. So he decided to stop and asked the guy it was on a Saturday evening. He stopped and the guy was coming out from under this culvert. And he said, "Look, man," he says, "I'm just curious, you know, we own a lot of land around here." He says, "You know, what's the deal?" Yeah. The guy said, "Well," he said, "I'm actually a dentist," but he said, "but there is gemstones in this culvert." And he said, "I've been getting them out." He said his hands were all muddy and dirty, and he got out and he said, you know, he showed him these several gemstones, and they were nice sized gemstones that he was finding in this culvert that were just somehow or another washing in there. So I've heard that story, and I've heard of another gentleman saying the same thing about finding them around the deep ditches on both sides of the road, that they had found gemstones there.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, I've not found any myself, except maybe some really small, you know, it looks like mineral stones, but nothing that's like, you know, big or nothing.
Right. Not yet.
Not yet. I know they're there. Let me show you this. Hang on.
All right. Pretty cool, though. I'm telling you.
I found this at the gold mine. Now, this is pretty cool. See the crystals?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. That's really cool. I mean, that's a pretty big piece, but you can see the crystals. I'm trying to get it where you can see it. See the crystals on there? They really reflect light.
That is awesome.
But found that at the gold mine. So that was cool to find this, you know.
That's a great find. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. The really beautiful crystals, but quartz crystals.
See?
So, but a lot of weird things happen there too. Now that I know that it's been written over and over and over again in several books. I've read it in different books about this Portus. Back in the day, they had a lot of shootouts there. And so on this one particular night that was recorded, there were 13 guys that got shot in one night at this ballroom brawl.
Mm-hmm.
And each guy shot was from a different state. And so when they went to bury them, they buried them and they laid them out. When they buried them in the shape of the State of the Union, the shape of that.
Okay.
And that has been told over and over again. But I tell you, just a lot of weird things happen up there. I can't, there's such a long list of when my son was moving up there and on the property, he, you had to get a well dug and you had to get a septic tank put in. Seemed like every piece of equipment that went up there had a mechanical problem before it left.
Wow.
We had a dump truck turn over down there one day completely. It turned over, had to get a crane in, and then the crane couldn't get out to turn the dump truck over. So they had to bring a big wrecker in to get the crane out.
No.
The guy bringing in the modular home at the time, he'd been using his truck all these years. Guess what? It blew. It started skipping while he was there, and he pulled the oil stick out, and his diesel fuel and his oil was mixing.
Oh, wow.
And he limped it out of there. The well truck guy, he was digging the well and had a brand new cat motor, $60,000 Caterpillar motor put into this rig. That was his first job since the engine had been replaced.
Mm-hmm.
Was first day starting to drill. Motor wouldn't run. Had to get a rep in to come down and find out that there was an electrical issue that had just started up on the engine. They had to get that fixed. The guy that was clearing the land in the beginning, he was running those big mulching machines where they just chew up the trees,
Yeah.
This guy been doing it for years. They had 2 machines. The guy was running his equipment. First hour on the job, the track broke on this fairly new Caterpillar. Had to limp it up to the road to where they could put another track on it. So he got back on it, went back to using it within 2 or 3 hours. They hadn't used it a whole day yet. This is a machine that was under warranty. The engine and the hydraulic pump, the shaft got sheared in two somehow or another. They had to drag that thing all the way to the road with a big excavator, put it on a trailer, and carry it back to Cat. Okay, with the other one that they've been using for years, they ran it all that day, and they were finishing up the next day, like probably 2 hours finishing, and it started acting kind of funny. And so he said, maybe I better get it up to the road, get it on the trailer to see why the motor's acting a little funny. Got it up to the gooseneck trailer. They're gonna put it on the trailer, and right before he got it to where she was sitting straight on the trailer, the motor locked up. They had to get in there and take hydraulic lines loose to drag it the rest of the way on the trailer. And he said right then, if I were you, I don't think I would move here because something ain't right.
Something ain't right on there.
Yeah. So, there's been just a lot of crazy stuff. It's funny. My son, he's one who lives there. The well drilling guy went down about 440 feet deep. I was like, geez, man.
Wow.
And wells ain't cheap. And look, so.
Oh, no, right.
So at about 55 feet, he hit bedrock. And because I wanted to know where that bedrock was. And
Sure.
he said 55 feet. So he said, you'll get a decent amount of water at 440 feet deep. But he said, because of the static, the storage that deep, So I said, okay. So the guy, he loaded everything up the next day and he left. Well, I noticed that the standpipe sticking up was, like 2 feet sticking up above the ground, and so all of a sudden I noticed water running out of the top of the well. And so I called the guy and I said, look, dude, I said, water's coming out of this well, it ain't pouring out, but it's just running, trickling steady.
Mm-hmm.
So that's crazy. He said, must be an artesian well there. So they had to put a bleeder on it. And so now all these problems are cranking up because all the black sand and gold in that well is going in all the pipes.
Oh, wow.
Now I got to put filtration system in to catch the gold and the black sand coming from that well. But dude, I'm telling you, it's just been all kinds of craziness that goes on up there.
It sounds like it.
Crazy stuff. Yeah.
Well, I can't wait. I hope that you guys do this TV show. I can't wait to see it. It'll be interesting.
Oh, it's coming. Just keep watching.
All right.
See it. It's coming.
Let us know. Let Scott know or something, and he can.
We'll do that. We'll post our stuff on Facebook as well. And like I say, our shows, we're filming those. They usually come out around October is when they start cranking our shows out.
Okay.
And then they'll show them again like through December, and then you can live stream our shows.
Oh, okay.
So we've got that going on, and Lord, there's several big networks that are talking to us about doing some shows. So I said, hey, if I see a contract, brother, my ears are open. I got to see some money.
That's right.
I want in.
Yeah, I got to see some money somewhere because I'm spending enough of it.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine.
I'm telling you, brother,
that you're spending. It would be nice to get it back.
So usually, the pay dirt helps with the diesel fuel. So I say, it's stuff that we've already gotten that somebody else can benefit from it. We benefit from helping us with our fuel, and everybody wins. Everybody has to win or it don't work.
Right.
That same thing with just showing it off. We don't charge anything for that. I enjoy showing it to people and teaching somebody some history, because I don't know about where you're at, but where we're at, they're trying their best to take history and throw it out the back door.
Oh yeah, that's what it's like nowadays.
And we just ain't like that, man. Look, I'm gonna push it down your throat. I'm all about history, man.
That's right. They taught us that stuff in school.
Yeah. So and I believe in the new modern ways too, but you still have to teach people where it came from. How this happened, how you got where you're at.
It's cool knowing that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know why people want to erase history. It's cool knowing it. It's like,
yeah, I agree with you.
Really?
So I'm a big advocate for that. Is trying to, to do that. Is to be on the positive end and to show people, how things used to be. And if I had my way, you're gonna laugh when I tell you this, because look, I come from agriculture. I pick cucumbers, prime tobacco. I've done all that mess. And look, if I had my way, every kid that graduated from high school before they graduated would have to spend at least 1 month doing agriculture work before they graduate, because it's a different world, brother. Let me tell you, it's hands-on.
Yeah, I think they also have to bale hay for a week.
Yeah, hey.
And then
they can say, you know what? I've done some show enough work.
That's right.
I guarantee that.
Yep, that's it.
I just realized I was posting on Gen 7.
Never bale hay again.
Oh, I know it, right, Rich?
You should try picking cucumbers, brother. Boy, that's about as bad. You standing on your head all day picking cucumbers, and they'll pay you. Look, they'll pay you like at the time $2.50 a bag, and they better not be big cucumbers. I learned that the hard way too. I was picking all them big ones. Thought this ain't too bad till I got up there to the grader, and the man says he dumped them all out, and I says, I was a kid, I says, what the heck, man? You dumping all my cucumbers out? He said, look, man, they're too big. You got to get them medium sized. And I thought, man, I'm just learning this now. Live and learn, brother.
That's a good
get the medium sized ones.
Tim, I just got the actual
link
link to that Gen 7 Eastern Outdoor Expeditions link. I got it posted in there.
Oh yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah,
I was posting just the Gen 7 link itself before, but now I got it linked to your actual show. So
okay, thank you. Yeah, because like I say, when you're on, there's like 25 or so outdoor shows and ours, the Eastern Outdoor Expeditions, our stuff. So you can see all the stuff that we do and that we've done in the past. And like I say, we've got a bunch of new stuff, coming up. So a lot going on, man, between the TV shows and doing this digging and the fossil hunting. Good God Almighty, man.
That is cool.
Retirement ain't retirement.
No, your retirement's just beginning.
Yeah, sure is. One of these days.
Right. I mean, you're on that working retirement. But what you're doing, you're loving what you're doing. So that's what.
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
passion is a big deal. Passion ain't work.
That is. That's like living a dream right there. And it's just cool. I was looking at some of the pictures on your Facebook page, and it's pretty darn interesting. It's like,
Yeah, and I'm blessed that my kid decided to take up and go with it, and that's something I tried not to push either way. It's like, whether you want to hunt or fish or whatever it is you want to do, play music, whatever it is, stick with it if you really love it. And he really got into this and wanted to go with it. And then he has a son, and ever since that little kid was born, he has been in the woods. That is no joke. That kid, look, 6 months old, was in the woods. So, when I see Parker on TV with, Gold Rush, I'm like, well, we got one just like that.
yeah.
Wearing diapers, and he's in the woods, right on up till he's, older and older. It's like, you're going to get dirty.
Yeah. Hey, that's what it's about right there. Teach them young. Get them out there, That's awesome. We'll have to get your son on here one of these times too.
Yeah, he was going to do it tonight. He was just at the gold mine, and they don't have good service up there. It's really out in the boondocks, so it just didn't happen tonight. But I think he's trying to watch us on here tonight.
Good. But you said that pay dirt's what, 20 a bag? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's $20 a bag for the pay dirt, and if anybody decides they do want it's like shark tooth bags. He's got bags, man. That's there's probably 7+ shark teeth in there. And I think they're $20 a bag if you get the bag, and it's, a decent sized bag, and you're going to get shark teeth, and everything is prehistoric. There ain't no joke mess about it.
Oh, I gotta get one.
yeah, the shark tooth bags. Look, I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed, because a lot of kids, adults too, we have a lot of adults that come, but because we have has two, I bet they're 20-foot long piles that if you want to, just go and spend an hour or 2 or 3, it's $20 an hour to do that. Mm-hmm. And all the teeth you find, you carry home with you, whether it's 10 teeth or 30 teeth or whatever, and you're doing, that'd be you. Look, and it's just digging for it and getting an eye for it. And a lot of people want to really get in the meat and bones of things. And so he has that set up. And then he also, like I say, he has the pay bags where, people just say, look, I got a birthday coming up, or Christmas or this or that. And, kids especially are into the shark teeth and the dinosaurs. Well, that stuff's there. It's not fake. It's the real stuff. And all the material that's in there is from that area. It's not like putting some dirt in there and then put some teeth. It's not like that. Period. It's not like that at all. And then the other thing I think he's doing is like treasure bags. I think in that it comes with some of the wood off the ship. We usually he takes wood and puts in there. We've got a lot of wood that's pieces, short pieces. Right. I think Civil War bullets. Oh
wow!
Old coins. So all this stuff is in the treasure bags as well. So if you want a treasure bag, that's another thing, and you're not going to be disappointed. This stuff is going to be there, So that's so
I'm definitely in.
Yeah, so like I say, just contact him. It's through NC Treasure Hunters Campground. They do all that stuff, and he stays pretty busy. I mean, it's usually weekends are crazy. And then he sends a lot of stuff out, and a lot of local guys. Well, I mean, I mail a lot of stuff out too. When I mail stuff out, it's kind of funny, I'm the old school with a check. I'll just say, look, just mail me a check and I'll mail you the stuff. And so far I've been, I've been thankful to have some trustworthy people, So, but Ross does the PayPal, and I said, well, you handle it then, but
it's easy. You should do it.
I probably should. I'm just like,
it can't get any easier than that. It's just click done.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I need to look into it.
You do. Trust me. Yeah. It's the way to go.
It's the way to go.
It is. It's the way to go. For sure. It's
okay.
It really is worth it. It's worth taking 5 minutes, setting it up and being done. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just 5 minutes.
Yeah. 5 minutes. You're done. Yeah.
Wow.
Easy peasy. Really. It's really worth it to do it. Yeah.
Okay.
But,
cool. I have to look into it. Maybe
yeah.
Get him.
It just makes your life so much easier. It does. It's the money's there, and you just mail it. Done.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, I was doing it the old school way. Just send a check and I'll send the stuff out, and
Right.
and it worked.
Yeah.
Might be a week before you get your money, but it always comes in.
Yeah, I don't trust those checks. I've always been told the check's in the mail, and I never got it.
Oh man, come on, bro.
Check is in the mail.
Not from you, but you know.
Oh man.
I thought I was the only human left that still used checks.
No,
I
you ain't,
don't
bro.
have a check.
Right here.
I'm still waiting for my checks from Tim.
Oh, yeah, that's in the
Oh,
mail. Rich.
Yep. There you go.
That's in the mail,
Well,
definitely, Rich. It should
Yeah, the check's been in the mail for what?
years.
8 years?
It'll get there one of these days.
Yeah.
Oh man, that don't sound good.
I might have put the wrong postage on it, Rich.
Yeah.
That's probably what it was.
It's on its way.
Man, that don't sound good.
Yeah, buddy.
It'll be there someday.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. Tim, it has been a pleasure having you, man. You are,
Yeah, it's been cool. How about Tony? You staying busy with your mining? You mining anything?
No, heck no. It's still
too hot.
100 degrees here.
100 degrees, really?
Yeah.
When does it turn off cool there? Is it
About November.
Okay, so not too much for a little bit to where you, I guess, won't be as bad.
Yeah. I mean, if it gets down in the 80s, it'll be okay. But
Yeah.
right now it's still like, no, I'm not digging out there.
I can't blame you there.
Tim, don't be surprised you get a bunch of people contacting about dirt. So
Oh, I know, right?
Well, I do
a lot of
appreciate it,
people
guys.
talking about it. So
I do appreciate it. And I like I say, I feel like everybody will feel good about it. And so far we, have had good results. And the cool thing is once she pops on TV, where this material's coming from, I think it'll help us a lot too. But, anybody that gets ahead of time can say, hey, I've got the dirt from there and I know where it came from, beforehand. So, like I say, we've got a lot of material. So, we can hook people up if they want to try it out. And like I say, I got one guy that he buys pretty much weekly. He says, look, I'm doing a stockpile, and when it gets cold weather, I ain't going nowhere but the barn. I said, okay. So,
for all you know who it is. Yeah,
the only thing about it is shipping now. That's the only thing. It's $20 a bag, and then it's I think the last I checked, it's been about 2 weeks ago. It was like $21 to ship it because it's in those boxes where it's like what? It used to be like $16, and you know how it is with postage. So then it went up to like $21 for.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It pays if it
fits, it ships.
There you go.
Yeah.
So,
all their prices went up.
Yeah, so that's the only thing, I've had to do that. So, and we can get it in that bag, but let me tell you, brother, that box, there ain't no room for no air. So that's how big that material is. So we'll put it in there and, make sure it's wrapped good and send it off. But then it ends up being like, $41 is the only thing because you're having to ship it, it's a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm.
But,
we always cram it in that small one. A 1 pound bag, we could cram it.
Yeah.
So if you're getting a big box, that's worth
$10 back then, and now it's went up too. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I just want to say something to the listeners.
Yeah. The fine gold in there.
If they're your GPS listener and you order from him in the next couple of days, just say, hey, we saw you on GPS. We loved you as a guest. We came here to get that dirt. Leave him a note.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice to
get that dirt.
Get that dirt.
Yeah, dirt, shark tooth bags, what is it, the treasure bags, all that stuff.
I definitely want a shark tooth bag. I think
you'll be excited, I'm telling you.
That's what I
You'll be
want.
excited.
I'm gonna get me a shark tooth bag.
You'll be getting another one after that. I guarantee you. They'll hook you.
It's like I can get gold easy. I want shark teeth.
That's what Mike Pung says. Look, we're supposed to go out, trying to go out tomorrow. The water has dropped exceptionally low, and we're trying to get out there. And because when they got a hurricane coming off Florida, and it's coming up this way, so once they get here, that's going to be all she wrote, water wise. Because that is definitely one of those things that you got to get it when the water's low, and
Oh yeah,
you got it. It's like anything else. You got to get the timing right. It won't work.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have a bumper crop tomorrow night. So y'all watch the Eastern Outdoor Expeditions and NC Treasure Hunters Campground. I guarantee you, if we've got much of a bumper crop tomorrow night, you'll see it.
Cool.
We'll post it up there.
Well, I'm following you guys now, so now I'll see it.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for your support.
You're welcome. Yeah, you guys listening, just click on their Facebook page, like, follow, and then you will see what they find tomorrow. So
yeah, please do. And then look at what we've done recently. I'm gonna try to post tonight what we did today. And I'm telling you, when you see the size of that hole that we dug out today, it's like them damn guys crazy. They're glad for punishment.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. That's why I said I'm glad I'm following you guys now. So now when you post,
thank you.
I will see it. So that's cool. But like I said, it's been a pleasure having you, man. You've been a great guest.
Thanks a lot.
We definitely will have you back here again.
Thank you. Enjoyed it, guys. Enjoyed it, and come back anytime you need me. I'll do what I can to tell you what we're doing.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate it. Good luck, and keep us posted. Okay.
You got it, brother.
Take care.
Take care, Tim.
Take care, guys. See you.
Thanks for joining us. Have a good
Thanks
night.
again, Fish Stick. We'll catch you
You got
later.
it, brother. You know it. You got me.
Have a good night.
You too, brother.
Awesome. We want to thank Tim for joining us tonight. He's been a great guest, and don't know what to say. It's amazing. A lot of stuff going on with him and what they're doing.
That ain't no joke.
No, really cool. Yeah.
And I'm glad that he threw the connection, because you can see what, because once you start watching what he's doing, you'll get interested. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool. Like I said, I clicked on our Facebook page during the show and was looking at the pictures, and it's like, wow, that is so cool.
That's where I was going to go this summer, but I couldn't afford to get over there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
I was going to go. I was taking my 3-inch high banker and everything.
Oh, you were saying so. You never told us where you was going. You're like,
I know, but that's where
I
I
was
was
going somewhere.
That's where I was going to go.
But you wouldn't tell us where you was going. But you're like, I might be going somewhere. Well, see, that would have been a cool place to go, Scott.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I said he threw the offer out there, and then, like I said, then when summer come around, the grass prices went through the roof. I'm like, well, I can't afford to drive.
Oh, yeah. It went nuts. So
yeah,
it would have been hard. Yeah.
So, but anyway, boys, I got to get going. Supper time.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.
Good night, Gold
All right.
Digger.
All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning
everybody.
in.
We hope you like the show. We're out of here. We'll see you Wednesday. Have a good night, everybody.
Be sure to tune in next Sunday at 7:30 for another great show. For updates and more info, please go to www.prospectorsradio.com.